Alright, what's good guys? Today's video is going to be quite a short one. Hopefully it's going to help everyone that watches it. This is how to win more shotgun battles and how to improve your shotgun accuracy on console. So PC is very easy to just click on people's heads, etc. But everyone that plays on console knows that there's a bit more skill involved. So this video is just going to be aimed at 5 key foundations that once you've watched this video once, you can go and implement into your game and straight away win so many more shotgun fights and do a lot more damage with your shotguns. If any of these things, benefit you and improve your playstyle, please make sure to either show it to your friends who play on console or just leave a like or a comment. That would be greatly appreciated. I'm not going to drag on for too long because I know a lot of these tutorials take ages. I'm going to keep it short and snappy, so, enjoy the video and let's get straight into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is sensitivity targeting. And what I mean by this is making sure that you have the right sensitivity for the kind of engagements that you want to be in. So a lot of people have different sensitivities on console, and I guess that's good and that's fine. And most people on YouTube especially will tell you that they don't want to tell you what sensitivity you need because that's what's best for you. But there are some markers which will let you see exactly what sensitivity you need. So this is sensitivity that I run on right now. It's 7 on the Y and a slightly higher 8 on the X. And the reason for this is because when you're going up and down, you don't really want too much movement because you don't want to miss someone's head. So what I mean by this is, say we're looking at this tree. If I line up a headshot and then suddenly I need to move, I don't want to sky off. I want to be able to get a quick headshot off. So that's why my sensitivity is like that. And the way that you need to diagnose your own sensitivity is through a few things. So if I go now and put it straight down, let's say to I'll put it somewhere on the 5 region. The reason that I can't run on this is, one, building. It's way too slow. For me anyway. I found that way too slow. But also, if I saw someone right now, it's impossible to basically line up a quick headshot. So let me go for an example here. If I'm running here and then that bush was someone, it's taken me ages to get there. And then once I'm there, if I'm going for a body shot, this pump is only going to do 80 damage. And if I want a headshot, it's going to have to be up there. So especially in a gunfight, you're seeing this is way too slow. So you need to be able to diagnose whether it's too slow for you. A lot of people do get used to certain sensitivities, but this game's going to be out for a long time, and if you are looking to get better at it, then you need to be able to change and adapt to change. The opposite scale, the opposite end of the spectrum, is putting it all the way up, which I'll show you again is just ridiculous. So if we put it on 2 9s, you need to be able to diagnose this yourself, because some people do run the sensitivity and can control it, but it could be cutting out your accuracy massively. So if I was running, I saw that bush, that was me trying to hit it. You're never going to be able to line these up. And while it's great for building, you're not going to be able to line up these shots. So, cut it down or cut it up. For me, I'm cutting it down back to where I wanted it, which is a reasonably high 8, and then all the way down to a 7, which is about here. Oops. Yeah, so this is a sensitivity for me. That's what I find perfect. So that's step 1, is finding the right sensitivity and not just choosing the sensitivity that you're used to, because that is what will kill you this game. You need to be able to diagnose your own problems, and I think sensitivity is the easiest one for that. Alright, so step 2 is deciding when to aim down sight, because the thing with shotguns that people moan about a lot is like 8 damage, etc. And the main reason that people think that is because of damage drop off. They think that, the bullets lose accuracy over range, whatever. But the real reason is, if someone's right in front of you and you choose to aim down sight and you shoot like this, you are going to get 8. You literally just graze them. And the reason that people don't really understand that is because they think, aim down sight is instant accuracy, which is not. When you're in a close range gunfight like this, sometimes it's better to hip fire, especially if you've got 2 shotguns, because you can get them off quicker. And the main reason for this is because aim down sight's accuracy is much slower. And you can change this in the settings, but just a quick. That's a 360 without. And I mean, look, you can see. And the reason that that's peak is because if you're aiming at someone here, to move up to their head is much slower than if you're doing that. And a lot of people are used to this, so then when they go aim down sights, they flick it and it doesn't go where they want it to go. So again, when to aim down sight. But then there's also the flip side. If someone's at that car there, you're not just going to go for the jumping headshot. You need to be aiming down sight in this situation, because if you saw that spread and then we go to that, it's very different, and that's how you get higher damage at long ranges. So you need to be aware. A lot of this is about knowledge and intelligence. You need to make the right decisions, And the main way you do that is by training yourself. Okay, part 3 is something that I myself like to call natural aim, or knowing when to position your crosshair in a certain position. Your crosshair should always be around here. So if you can see, you kind of want it aligned with your head, but this is way too high. So that's what the myth is. A lot of people think you need it directly in line with your head. If you drew that on the screen, the dot is in line with my head here. What you actually want is the crosshair just touching your shoulder. So this is headshot accuracy. So if you walked around the corner now, like this, that's over 100 damage on a headshot. Whereas if you actually put it where your head is, and you're jumping around, you're going to hit the tree. Which is just, like, it's common sense, but there's a lot of myths out there, and a lot of people try and teach you things that are just bad practice. And one of those is trying to line it up with your head, which is here, which is not a headshot. You want it literally on the corner of your shoulder, so that if you point the gun in, the crosshair is literally on that corner. That's exactly where you want it, and this is a headshot every time. Look, if I put my head next to it, the bullets went at exact headshot distance, which is what you want. Okay, so the step 4 is instant high ground, or unnatural high ground. So in a position like this, there's a lot of open field, whatever. Imagine these bushes weren't here. If I shoot someone, if that shot doesn't kill, then they can hit me. And even if they only hit me for 29 damage, if they keep hitting me consistently, I'm going to lose a lot of health and probably die. So the way to combat this is to give yourself unnatural high ground or instant high ground through building. And it does seem strange to some people at times, but what you want to do basically is use building to give yourself a short advantage. So if you have one pump, then you may not have time to hit them with a second pump before they shoot you. So if you pump and then build, then you have this high ground, which is giving you, one, a shield. So from the other perspective, someone's head glitching you over this wall now, so they can't hit you in the body like they wanted to. And secondly, it gives you high ground advantage, which means that you have a greater view of their head. So straight away, if you're just shooting and building, you've got instant high ground advantage. And what I just did there, I wouldn't recommend as well. A lot of people, once they have the high ground, they'll give it up to go for a jumping shot. The better thing to do is to actually build these floors. So if someone's where you don't want them to be, you can take a shot and build a floor and keep going. And you can always edit your way down if you have to. Whereas if you jump off of the ramp, then it's going to be much harder for you to get up to them. So again, you can take a shot and build towards where you want them to be. And then you can also build more high ground up here. So that's the next step, is unnatural high ground. Alright, so the final step, step 5, in improving your accuracy in such a short amount of time, without spending any money as well. A lot of YouTubers mainly will try and endorse control freaks or something like that. You don't need to spend any money to get better at this game, I promise. So this final step is probably the most important when you're using a tac shotgun alongside your pump. I know a lot of people choose to use just a tac, which is fine, but just for pump tac, which is quite a prominent strategy right now, there's multiple situations where you can use a pump tac and you need to know how to deal with them accordingly. So this first situation, if I've got a short head glitch on someone, but they're rushing me, say he's over there, that's perfect pump distance. So we'll talk about aim down sights, which we talked about over there. And we've also got this instant high ground, which we gave ourselves. So right now we're in a good position to deal a lot of damage to their head. So deciding between pump and tac, if we look at the damages, the pump does 80 and the tac does 67. So we're definitely going to go with the pump. So if we shoot a pump off there and we get a decent amount of damage, straight away, if I was this guy, either I'm going to build up, but imagine he doesn't and he runs around here. Right now, if I shoot that pump, I don't have the best time to give myself this instant high ground that we were talking about. So what you want to do is use the tac. So the tac's good at putting a lot of damage down range very quickly. So the reason I would recommend using the tac is because you can keep spamming them here and you still have the head time, but you don't have a pump because the pump will have longer to shoot. So if you've hit them for this initial damage, then you can switch to the tac and you keep using it. Double pump, you switch between weapons. Pump tac in this situation, if you're more comfortable with the tac, then you hit them for the initial damage and then you hit them with the tac until they die basically. Situation 2 is like this. Imagine someone's down there. I don't have to rush them, whatever, which means that I don't have to do this pump tac situation. I can just keep going with my pump. So you hit them with the peek shots like this. And you can just keep peeking. You don't have to worry about your reload time between the pumps because they're not an immediate threat to you. Obviously, if they start building up, then you may have to build and you may have to go with attack, whatever. But in that situation, you can choose your pump. So it's just the awareness aspect. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked the video. I do have I think, one other video on this channel right now, and I'm going to be uploading more videos if this one's well received. If you have anything that you need me to cover, I do see myself as quite a proficient console player, and I have put a lot of hours in, so there are many things that I can share from my own experiences. And yeah, if you like the video, leave a like, subscribe if you also want to, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.